Welcome back to Decked Out.
On today's episode, we are joined by a brand new guest, Tulok the Barbrarian, and today we are checking out the brand new Foundation's commanders.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Tales of Adventure, Moxfield, and Ultimate Guard, and today's featured sponsor, Elgato, but more on all of them later in the video.
All right, let's go ahead and check out the players and the commanders that they chose.
Hi everyone, I am Tulok. You might know me for making D&D stuff, you might know me for making Elden Ring stuff, but I also make Magic stuff on Tulok the Barbrarian. Please go check it out. Today I am playing Shrufus the Sprout Sire from the new Foundation set. It is the first sapperling on a commander card that you can use as the commander. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna swing in with sapperlings. That'll make more sapperlings until we grow out of control with a whole big bunch of big boy sapperlings.
Niv Mizzet Visionary had a vision where he got in touch with his red side and learned that face is the place. And so today we're playing Is It Burn? Cards that don't usually find a home in Commander because they just do a lot of damage to one target, all of a sudden become a lot better if you draw 5 cards when you deal 5 damage to other opponents. And there are other cards in Foundations as well that deal damage to the entire table all at once. So we're working with those effects, amplifying them, casting them for free, casting them from exile, drawing our deck, and running over the table before they know what hit them.
For the Foundation game, I picked Elenda, Saint of Dusk. This is by far the card I am the most excited about from this new set. It deals with a lot of life gain, and I am definitely an Orzhov life gain girly. Now, it's not the typical Soul Sisters build. We're not gonna be sacrificing little things or gaining life in small increments. We're gonna gain big life and use that life to our advantage to pump our creatures or just one-shot our opponents.
Ah yes, the ultimate Simic paradox. Do I go tall with counters or do I go wide with counters? That's not really the definition of paradox, but Simone Paradox Sculptor is the definition of Simic. We get the double benefit of cards that care about how many counters are put on them and that care about how many times counters are put on them. I could write an entire document about different combos in the deck, or another document on how to just beat down my opponents with large creatures. Huh, what a paradox.
Today's featured sponsor is Elgato, and we're here to tell you about their Black Friday sale that runs from November 21st to December 2nd.
Now, math may be for blockers, but they don't call it Block Friday. This is 15 to 30% off of stream decks, cameras, lights, capture cards, everything good that Elgato has.
They have everything you need to upgrade your Spelltable, stream, or work from home setup, and there's no better time to do it than right now with that 15 to 30% off. It even stacks with our 5% off code, which is ZZ-MNG. You can find the link in the description down below to make sure that you get that discount.
And now it's time to check out a high camera quality and well-lit Commander game. Let's get to it.
Welcome to the table. Let's see who goes first. 11.
11.
9.
14!
Okay.
Let's go!
Nice. Yes, good.
I'm gonna start with a forest, and then I'll tap that to play a Soul Ring, which I can tap for 2 mana. And I'll do that for an Emerald Medallion, which will discount all my green spells by 1.
Huh.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Good game, everyone. It was fun.
It's fine, it's okay. I'm just gonna make a little mushrooms. We're gonna have a little mushroom party.
Yikes. I'm gonna draw this card. I will play a forest, and I too will pass the turn.
I have a Shattered Sanctum for turn. It's gonna come into play tapped because I'm lame and I'll pass.
Okay, I'll play an island and pass the turn. And brace myself.
Ah yes, the Foundations of Magic, basic lands, and also Soul Ring and Emerald Medallion.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why everyone's so worried. I'm gonna play a forest, and then I'll tap 3, and I have 1 colorless floating after I play my commander, Shrufus, the Sprout Sire. It's a legendary sapperling, the first one, with trample, and whenever a sapperling I control deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens.
The fact that we floated using the Soul Ring makes me anxious.
It shouldn't, because I have nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay.
But I will tap this one for Elvish Mystic, my favorite sapperling. I can tap it for 1 green mana, and it's an elf druid.
You did need some mana.
I do need a little more mana, and then I'll pass turn.
Okay. I'm gonna play a forest, and I'm gonna pay 2 for this banger of a card, Aquastrand Spider. It has Graph 2, which means it comes in with 2+1/+1 counters, and whenever another creature comes into play, I can move a counter onto that creature. And then I can pay 1 green to give a creature with a +1/+1 counter reach.
So we're starting off with similar power levels, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Here's my 2 counters. I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna play Plains as my land for turn and just an Orzhov Signet so I can get a little ramp of my own. I'll pass.
She's ramping the threat.
Yeah, let's look at the threat here.
I'm gonna play Sulphur Falls, tap 2, and cast a Thought Vessel. I have no hand size. And then I'll pass.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna miss my land drop.
Boo-hoo.
So I'm really slow actually.
That's terrible news, actually.
We're gonna tap 2, tap 1 for Bridgeworks Battle. I could have hit the land drop, I just didn't want to. Target creature I control gets +2/+2 until end of turn and fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. I needed to be bigger.
Quick, give it reach.
Give it reach.
You're gonna eat a spider?
So my mushroom's gonna get +2/+2. So it'll be a 3/3, and then it'll fight the 2/2 spider over there. This might make me look a little threatening, but I promise it's not. I'm gonna play an Epic Struggle. At the beginning of my upkeep, if I control 20 or more creatures, I win.
Just that you
Just
win.
20. I need 20 at my upkeep, and then I win.
Win what?
The game. Do I think Epic Struggle is gonna win me the game? Absolutely not. But when that's targeted for removal, my Emerald Medallion isn't. My Soul Ring isn't. I'm protected because this is gonna be the target. I currently have a 3/3 Shrufus the Sprout Sire. I have made you sad, so I'll deal commander damage. We'll move down the list and we'll hit NerdGirl for 3.
I will take...
Actually, wait, back that up. Niv Mizzet's my biggest problem. I'm gonna swing it at you because I fear your instants and your sorceries with your spell slinging, so you're gonna get 3.
Okay.
So because I dealt 3 combat damage with Shrufus, that means that I get to make 3 Sapperling tokens, and I am just gonna put dice on this Sapperling token because if I don't, and I put a Sapperling out for every Sapperling I have, there won't be mushroom left on the board.
I am gonna play this Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. So now everybody has forests.
Thank you.
And I did in fact have a little combo with my spider. Play 3 for Kami of Whispered Hopes. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put onto a permanent you control, that many +1 are put onto that permanent instead, and then it taps for mana equal to its power. So I could have moved a counter onto it, which would have been 2 counters, which means that it would tap for 3 mana and almost be not as much mana as you can produce.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do what I can for the table. I'm gonna pay 3. I'm gonna play a blocker and try to slow down Shrufus with a Witch Enchanter.
It's 4 mana.
Oh, it's, I was like, this is 3 mana, Veggie. I mapped it like 4 times. Like, where am I messing this up? How did I mess up Orzhov Signet math? I didn't, I just thought this cost 3. Witch Enchanter, a 2/2 that when it enters, I can destroy an artifact or an enchantment an opponent controls. My target is going to be the Soul Ring. I think you're stuck on mana, and hopefully the other enchantment won't be a problem for a while. And if it is, we're dead anyway.
Okay. I don't have mono green Fierce Guardianship.
And then I'll pass the turn and hope I can block the idiot shrooms.
I'll go ahead and play this Shivan Reef as my land for turn, and then I'll pay 3 for a Decanter of Endless Water. I have no maximum hand size.
Well, that cancels out the Thought Vessel, though.
So now your max hand size is 0.
No, I think it's like one of those indeterminate forms in calculus. It's 0/0.
Oh,
You have to like use L'Hopital's rule or something.
I went to a fake art school. That means, yeah, I didn't learn that.
I went to a party school.
L'Hopital, is that like Ixalan?
So if you are trying to find the derivative of... Anyway, I'll pass turn.
Okay. Untap. I'm gonna start off by just going to combat. I will swing Shrufus and 2 Sapperlings over at Airball, and I will swing 1 Sapperling over at NerdGirl.
I will block it.
Okay, it will die.
All right, I'll take 3 one-of-it commander.
So I still make 3 Sapperlings. I'm gonna tap 2 for Fungal Rebirth. That lets me return target permanent card from my graveyard to my hand. If a creature died this turn, create 2 1/1 green Sapperling creature tokens. I'll return the Soul Ring to my hand. Then I'll create 2 green sapperling tokens. And then I will tap 1 with the Elvish Mystic for Soul Ring. I missed my land drop again, okay? This isn't that good.
You should empathize.
Empathize. Feel my pain.
Right? It's the worst thing you can do in Magic. Mr. Land Drop. It puts you behind.
It does. I feel like I'm behind.
I will play a Forest, and then I'm going to pay 4 for Forgotten Ancient. This is 0/3. Whenever a player casts a spell, I can put a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of my upkeep, I can move any number of counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. That's it, pass?
Airball, are you helping at all?
No.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pay 4, and we're gonna get my commander out as well. Elenda, Saint of the Dusk, a 4/4 with lifelink and hexproof from instance. As long as my life total is greater than my starting life total, I get +1/+1 in Menace. And I get an additional +5/+5 as long as my starting life total is 10 or greater than my starting life total.
And I will get a Forgotten Ancient trigger. I will put 2 counters on thanks to Kami of Whispered Hopes.
And then I will pass the turn and hope Airball can
Do something.
help.
If we do let NerdGirl get that much life, that's a 10/10 with Menace and Lifelink as a commander, which is concerning.
Yes, to one of us.
To all of us.
So here's the thing. Yes, but I don't care.
No. I understand that I am still the threat. I am just saying someone should keep an eye on Elenda, and I guess that will probably be me.
NerdGirl, keep an eye on Elenda.
I will absolutely.
I think that's crap. I think that you are trying to sway us with some propaganda. Creatures can't attack me unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking me.
And I'll put 2 counters on Forgotten Ancient.
And I'll miss my land drop and fall behind.
Pass turn?
Pass turn.
All right. For Land War Elves, my land drop per turn. Land War Elves, I can tap for a green mana.
And I will put 2 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
I will tap Soul Ring and this Forest for Beast Within, leaving 1 colorless floating. That lets me destroy target permanents. I'm going to target Airball's Propaganda, and Airball gets to make a 3/3 green beast creature token.
You'll have a blocker now.
You'll have a blocker.
No, I won't. I'm going to Arcane Denial the Beast Within. Counter target spell, its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep, and I draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep as well.
No, you're gonna let them draw cards. Oh no.
Propaganda is the single most important piece of cardboard on the battlefield. I cannot allow it to be destroyed under any circumstances, even if it means taking my shield down when Veggie's about to have 13 mana to spend. If I let the propaganda go, I'm just gonna get run over by sapperlings, so Veggie, do your worst.
Well, that is what we in the industry call a bummer.
Well, I'm gonna put 4 counters on my Forgotten Ancient, which is what we in the industry call 4 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
I will use the remaining floating colorless and this green mana for the Jade Mage. I can pay 2 and a green to put a 1/1 green sapperling creature token on the battlefield, as is my want in life.
Like 2 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
I'm gonna move to combat, and I will swing 7 sapperlings at NerdGirl.
I will block all 7 of them.
All right.
Got it.
2 will die, but 5 will get through, dealing 5 damage, unless anyone has any effects.
And I will gain the 4, so I will net -1.
That's -1, and I will get 5 more sapperlings, which, for those paying attention at home, that's 10 sapperlings there, 11, 12, 13, 14 creatures I have. I still need 6 more creatures. It's fine. I'll pass turn.
I'm going to untap.
I'm gonna draw a card.
Arcane Denial trigger, I get to draw 2 cards.
I'm going to move 12 counters onto my Kami of Whispered Hopes, which will be 13 because of Kami of Whispered Hopes. Casually tapping for 14. And I'm going to play a Fathom Mage. It's 1/1 with Evolve. Whenever a counter is placed onto it, I can draw a card. That will put 2 counters onto my Forgotten Ancient. I will use 3 more blue mana for Lannis, Genetics Expert, a 1/2 that also has Evolve. Whenever 1 or more counters are put onto Lannis, I investigate that many times, and whenever I sacrifice a clue, I put a +1/+1 counter on another creature that I control. That will put 2 counters onto Forgotten Ancient, and the Fathom Mage will evolve to draw me a card. 1 of that blue and 1 more to solve 1 of our problems. I will channel this Beseiju to destroy the epic struggle, but you'll get a land which you desperately need.
Weirdly, I'll take it. I know this was a win con for me, but I'll take it.
And finally, with all of that extra mana, I'm just going to pay 2 more for a Court of Garenbrig. I will become the Monarch, and at my upkeep, I can put 2 counters on creatures, but if I am still the Monarch, I double the number of counters on each creature that I control. There is my Monarchy. The Forgotten Ancient will get 2 more counters, and I will pass and draw a card.
All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to start with a Sorin of House Markov, a 1/4 with lifelink and extort. And it says at the beginning of my post-combat main phase, if I've gained 3 or more life this turn, I can exile Sorin and return him to the battlefield transformed.
I will put 2 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
Better the Forgotten Ancient than the Forgotten Trigger, am I right? We've had a lot of fun here today.
And then I'm going to go ahead and cast a Revitalize that no one can read, so I'll just tell you what it is. I get to gain 3 life and draw a card.
I'll put 2 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
I think you actually lose 3 life and draw a card.
I don't think so. 1, 2, and 3, which is enough to make Elenda good. Ooh, and I'll hit a land off the top. That's nice.
What's that like?
Shut up.
Oh yeah, after I got Besaju'd, we have the same amount of lands.
Elenda is going to come in at Veggie. She 5/5 menace.
I can take 5. I need these things. I like these things. I will take 5.
Which will give me the Monarch, which answers one of our problems with Veggie. I'll also gain 5. And then I will get to flip Sorin at the start of my second main. And he's gonna turn into a Planeswalker. Comes into play with 3 loyalty. He has the extort ability naturally. I can plus him to create a food. I can minus him to deal damage equal to the amount of life I've gained to any target. I can also -6 to gain control of a creature. All right, Shrooms, don't kill Sorin, and I'm gonna help you.
I like that.
Please don't
I
kill
won't
Sorin.
kill Sorin.
I'm gonna minus him, and I'm going to kill, I'm gonna deal 8 damage to the mage. So I think she bigger problem.
But I like drawing cards.
You've drawn enough.
I am not worried about losing Fathom Mage. I still have Lannis, but I am worried about being identified as the threat because I only have an engine set up, but nothing really to capitalize off of it yet.
That's all I can do, so I'll move to my end step and I will get to draw for the Monarch. All right, Airball, your turn. Help us.
Would have thought you'd have learned by now that that's just not gonna happen. All right, well, I'm gonna just play this mountain as my land for turn, and we'll pay 6 to bring out Niv Mizzet Visionary. It's a 5/5 flyer. I have no maximum hand size. Whenever a source I control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, I draw that many cards. That's all I can do.
I found the forests that were in the deck. That's so exciting. Then we'll hit 1 forest for Essence Warden, which will give me 1 life whenever another creature enters the battlefield. Forgotten Ancient trigger.
Oh yeah. I will go up to 14.
1/2 for Sylvan Anthem, which gives green creatures I control +1/+1. Whenever a green creature enters the battlefield under my control, I can scry 1.
16 counters.
16 counters. That's a lot of counters. Move to combat. I'm going to swing at Veggie with 10 2/2 Sapperlings.
I will block 1 with Forgotten Ancient.
Okay.
I'll take 18.
Yes. So unfortunately, I am now down 1 Sapperling. Good news. I'm up 18 Sapperlings.
Oh God, because it does it for each point of damage. I keep thinking you're gonna get 9. Stop it.
By Grabthar's Hammer, what a Sapperling. And now, scry 1 18 times. I like that card.
Incredible.
Are you willing to give up 17 scries of value to keep that card there?
I mean, here's the thing is that it's the mystery box thing, right? Where it's like, I could draw better stuff, but I don't think I will. Also, with Essence Warden trigger, 18 Sapperlings enter, I get 18 life.
Whew.
So instead of deciding whether or not to keep this here, what I'm gonna do is instead tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Collective Unconscious, and draw a card for each creature I control.
God.
which is currently 27 saprolings, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 cards.
Thank God you have a maximum hand size.
Yeah, I'm gonna sculpt a little bit.
While you figure that out, I'm gonna put 2 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. I'm going to move to my end step and discard a lot of cards. And then I'll keep the best 7 I could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting is so wonderful. I will pass turn.
As they say, don't count your mushrooms before they
Spore?
spore. Yeah. I'm gonna go and untap and go to my upkeep. I'm gonna have the Court of Garenbrig put a counter onto Lannis, which is 2 counters, and put a counter onto, let's say, the Kami, which is 2 counters. I'll make a clue for each counter that was put on it, so that is 2. And then Forgotten Ancient is going to make me another 19 clues. So that brings me up to 21 clues. Here is 16 green. I'm going to immediately spend 5 of it for Defiler of Vigor.
Oh, God.
6/6 trample as an additional cost to cast green permanent spells. I can pay 2 life and it reduces it by 1 green. Whenever I cast a green permanent spell, I put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. But now I'm out of useful things in my hand. So I'm going to spend 2 mana to sacrifice a clue. That's a land. I will pay 2 mana to sacrifice a clue. Blah. Here's another clue. And how about one more? Sacking those 3 clues will trigger Lannis 3 times to put counters on something.
What if we just teamed up? You know, like I feel like we're kind of the threats, and normally the threats go after each other. But what if we teamed up?
That's a good twist.
That's a good twist. It's also bullying.
And we support bullying. I'm gonna put 6 counters onto Defiler of Vigor. I'll play Novigen, Heart of Progress as my land for turn. I can pay 2 to put a counter on each creature that came into play this turn. I will use 2 of this remaining green mana for an Innkeeper's Talent. At the beginning of my combat, I put a counter on a creature I control. I can level it up to give all of my permanents with counters Ward 1, and then I can level it up again to double any counters that I put on stuff. That brings my Forgotten Ancient total up to 4. I'll use my final green mana to at least level up the Innkeeper's Talent to level 2. And I think finally for this turn, the thing that I certainly need more is counters. I'll play Ozolith, the Shattered Spire. Whenever 1 or more counters would be put onto an artifact or creature I control, I put 1 more of those, and it can tap to put counters on artifacts or creatures. That is 1 more Forgotten Ancient trigger to bring that up to 6. So I cast 2 green permanents, so all of my creatures will get an additional 4 counters. I guess I'll go to my combat. Innkeeper's Talent will trigger. I'll put counters onto Lannis. That puts 3 on because of my boosts. I will make 3 more clues because why not? But I don't think I want any attacks right now, so I will pass.
I'm gonna tap 3 for Caduceus, Staff of Hermes. It's an equipped creature, has lifelink. As long as I have 30 or more life, equipped creature gets +5/+5, and it is indestructible. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to this creature. And then I'll go ahead and pay 2 to equip it to my commander.
Yikes.
She is now a 10/10 because I have more than 30 and I have more than my starting life total. I think I can't do a ton, so I'm gonna just hang out. I'm gonna skip past my combat. I'll go to my second main and I will make a food with my Sorin. And then I'll just pass the turn with the defenses up.
Okay, Veggie. Let's play a game. I'm gonna tap 1, and I'm gonna play a Mana Clash. You and target opponent each flip a coin. Mana Clash deals 1 damage to any player whose coin comes up tails. Repeat this until both come up heads at the same time.
Huh, that's cute.
Okay.
Okay, odd as heads, even as tails?
So we're looking for 2 odds to end the cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. 2 evens, you both take damage.
We each take 1?
I'll draw a card.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll draw a card when this is done resolving.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Heads, and
I'll take another 1.
I'll draw another card.
I'll take another 1.
So will I.
I'll take another one.
I'll draw another card.
Oh, this is...
If this kills me, I'll take another one.
Oh my god.
Draw another card.
All right, miss.
Okay,
That's two heads, yes. So the Mana Clash is done resolving.
You drew how many off of that?
I drew 4 cards off of that.
Oh my god, you drew 4 cards in one turn? That's so unfair.
For one mana.
For one red mana.
Yeah.
Mana Clash with Niv-Mizzet in play is already a fun time, but I could have played Fiery Emancipation first. The problem is, that would also amplify the damage it would deal to me when I flipped my coin wrong. So I think I'm just gonna draw cards 1 at a time instead of 3. I'll go to combat, and I'm going to swing Niv Tulok's way.
All right, I don't have any reach or blockers. These are not tall mushrooms. How much am I taking?
5 commander.
5 commander.
You're almost down to the life gain dex level.
I know.
I've had a good game.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll go ahead and I'll pay 3 for a Sulfuric Vortex. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Sulfuric Vortex deals 2 damage to that player, but perhaps more importantly, if a player would gain life, they don't.
No.
That's so hateful.
I've held this to try to give you opportunities, but now that the Essence Warden is there, it feels like it is time to shut off the life gain.
That sucks. For me especially, the Sulfuric Vortex.
Oh, I thought you were saying because it's a vortex.
No, I mean, it does suck.
Okay.
But I feel...
And it stinks.
I feel so targeted as the life gain player at the table that you would shut off life gain. Ow.
I like that he got it. I'm gonna play Stormcarved Coast, and then I'll pass the turn.
All right, time to simplify my shrooms.
While you shrimplify, you should also take 2 damage.
Yes, you should, and I will draw 2 cards.
Ouch.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll play the Tendershoot Dryad. It's a 2/2. That doesn't matter. What matters is it has Ascend, and when I have the City's Blessing, Saprolings I control get +2/+2. Also, at the beginning of each upkeep, not just mine, I make a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. Let's see, do I have City's Blessing? 1,
Yes.
2, 3.
In a Death Whale, my Forgotten Ancient will get a bunch of counters.
Like, I have to swing and kill both of you and get a lot of tokens.
Okay, here I have a small proposal.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Tiny one.
Modest one.
sure.
Can you beat Airball?
Not with propaganda.
Can you deal with propaganda?
No, I discarded a bunch of enchantment removal while I sculpted this hand that I'm not playing.
So here's my deal. You leave me alive,
Okay.
and I will deal with propaganda, and then on that your next turn, you leave me alone one time and kill Airball. Airball will be open, so it gives me 1 turn, because I'll spend my entire turn dealing with propaganda. So you gotta give me 1 turn to find an answer for...
To find an answer, do you have an answer?
I do not have an answer for Shroomy Bits. I have an answer for propaganda.
So I think I will take that deal.
All right, you can send 1 Saproling at me,
Okay.
and it'll help me kill the propaganda.
Sending 1 Saproling at you will help you kill the propaganda, even without life gain.
Correct.
Okay, move to combat. I will swing 1 Saproling over at NerdGirl and 10 Saprolings at Veggie, leaving 17 Saprolings up.
Yes. I will block what I'm able to block.
I will block with the Witch Enchanter.
And that is a 2/2.
It's just a 2/2.
And then, before damage, I will sacrifice 1 clue to draw the 1 mana answer.
Hold on. Did you draw Fog?
Would you like to go to damage?
Let's go to damage.
I will pay 1 green. Okay, we can go damage.
All right. Witch Enchanter bites the dust.
Okay.
That one.
This one, yes. And you lose 3 Saprolings.
I lose 3 Saprolings, but I gain 12 Saprolings.
Yeah, I guess I just got too caught up in making a scary Simic engine, and I didn't even cast Zimone. But with all of those Saprolings headed my way, honestly, what I needed was a pair of blocks.
I'm gonna scry a whole bunch because of Sylvan Anthem. Hey, hi there. Sometimes we make misplays, okay? And that's okay. This would have been probably better to do earlier, but I'm gonna play Champion of Lampholds. Creatures with less power than Champion of Lamphold's power can't block creatures I control. When another creature enters the battlefield, I can put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lamphold. All right, I'll pass turn to NerdGirl.
All right. I will do your bidding But Airball, you still have another turn.
Take 2.
I will take 2.
And at the beginning of your upkeep, I'll make a sapperling.
So Airball has 1 turn, and I have a turn and a half. I'm sorry. I had to give myself another turn. Marsh Flats. I will lose a life to crack it. All right. I will do as promised. We'll start there, and then we'll figure out what I have left mana-wise. We're gonna pay 2, and I'm going to cast Revival. I'm gonna return target creature card. I thought Witch Enchanter had 3 again.
No! So if you don't agree, if you don't do your part of the deal that you agreed to,
you can just kill me. I'm so sorry.
I get to kill you, right?
I'm so sorry. I thought
so
it
now
was...
I have to deal with the propaganda and still be able to kill you?
It was an honest mistake. I'll try to help you.
I don't know why, but that card is a 3-drop in my head too.
I also think it's a 3-drop. Yeah, no, 100%.
How many times am I going to think Witch Enchanter only costs 3 mana? I messed this one up big time, and I owe Tulok everything. I am just going to uptick Sorin and get another food.
At least you can gain 3 life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I will play a Nighthawk Scavenger. It's a 1/3 with flying and death touch. And Nighthawk Scavenger's power is 1+ the number of card types among cards in opponents' graveyards.
And he battles? No planeswalkers and no battles.
7.
Cool. And then I will
We hit Kindred.
apologize profusely, pass the turn, and draw for Monarch.
All right. On your end step, I'm gonna go ahead and pay 3 to Chaos Warp the Tendershoot Dryad. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library, and if it's a permanent, it goes into play.
Here's the thing. My grandfather's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba. And there are a lot of permanents in here, so I think we'll hit something. I believe. Primal Bellow. Primal Bellow is an instance will just stay at the top of my library.
And on my upkeep, I'll take 2 damage from Sulfuric Vortex. That doesn't trigger Niv. I'm gonna go ahead and pay 3 for Fall of Care Andros. It's another enchantment. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, amass Orcs X, where X is that excess damage. I can pay 8 and have it deal 7 damage to target creature. And pay a further 3 to main phase a Delayed Blast Fireball, which deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. And if it were cast from exile, it would do more.
In response, I will tap Land of War Elves for Echoing Courage. Target creature and all other creatures with the same name as that creature get +2/+2 until end of turn. I will choose Elvish Mystic.
Wow.
Wait,
What?
No.
I'll choose the Sapperling. That seems like a better play.
Damn.
I won't lose anything. You'll still lose a couple of things.
Yes, I'll still lose everything except my Sapperlings.
And I will draw 4 cards. All right. Then I'll play an island as my land for turn and play a Roiling Vortex. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Roiling Vortex deals 1. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, Roiling Vortex deals 5 to that player. I can pay 1 red, which I don't currently have, to prevent my opponents from gaining life this turn. I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn.
This hurts my soul. I have so many amazing cards in my hand and Caduceus Staff on the board. I can gain tons of life. But Airball, if I could only kill Airball.
At your end step, I am going to Convoke, Scatter the Seeds to put 3 1/1 green Sapperling creatures into play. So I'll scry, wait, no, I scry 1 at a time. And now we'll go to my upkeep.
Yes, where you will take 3 and I will draw 3.
I will take 3.
Take 5 from the Roiling Vortex?
Okay. Wait, what is it?
For the Convoke? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we forgot to take 5 from the, I will do that now.
Yeah, and draw 5 from the Roiling Vortex, dealing the damage.
3 for Sapperling Symbiosis, which creates a 1/1 green Sapperling creature token for each creature I control. which means I'll create 60, which means I'll get to scry 60 times.
So just go through your deck and see which one you want on top.
Well, I will do it fairly. I will stop, okay, no.
5 minutes later.
20, there it is.
All right, so just 20 cards deep.
20 cards deep, we
Easy.
found it. So interestingly enough, I had this up at the top, which is what I wanted to draw for my turn until Chaos Warp made me shuffle my frickin' deck. If I give you another turn, I'm not your target.
No, at this point, I work for you.
Okay, wonderful.
Like,
I will pay 1, 2, 3, 4 for the propaganda cost twice to swing 2 Sapperlings at Airball.
And they're currently
Currently
twos?
2 twos.
Yeah, I'll eat one of them with Niv.
Okay.
I'll take 2.
All right, I'm sap tapping. I will pass turn to Nerd Girl.
Take 3, please. I'll draw 3 cards.
all right, Shroom Boy, I'm gonna give you your best chance.
I believe in you.
I did not find an answer to deal with either of the life gainy things. However, I can do this. I can double my life total, which doesn't work, but also target opponent loses half their life rounded up.
All right, I'll lose 14.
That's the best I can do,
Hey, I appreciate it.
and I will pass the turn. I will draw for the Monarch.
I'll untap and take 3.
If Airball can't kill me, I might be able to drain him out.
Yeah, we just have to wait.
And I have Extort,
And then you can have your life gain and we can see who wins between the Sapperlings and the life gain.
as it was meant to be.
As it was meant to be. How you doing, Veggie?
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Am I rooting for Airball? Yes, but I'm having a good time.
Whoa, you kill one person with 100 million funguses and suddenly you're the bad guy.
All right, we'll start here. We'll pay 5 for a Pinnacle Monk. When it ETBs, return target instant or sorcery card from my graveyard to my hand. Also has prowess. I'll return the delayed blast fireball to my hand. Ooh. Then I'll go ahead and pay a further 3 to cast the delayed blast fireball. And then we're gonna try this again. We're gonna deal 2 damage to each opponent and 2 damage to each creature.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I want to be clear, this would have happened without me being still here. So you probably did help yourself.
I will take 2, and all of my Sapperlings will die.
And Nerd Girl, you will also take 2.
Ouch.
And I'll draw 4. And then I'll play this mountain as my land for turn, and I'll pass.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep.
Take 3.
Take 3.
Draw 3.
Draw a card. Oh my goodness, what a card. I'm gonna pay 2, and I'm going to channel Beseiju to blow up the propaganda. Channeling it lets me discard Beseiju, who endures. I can destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. That player may search their library for a land card with a basic land type, put it onto the battlefield.
All right, off the Beseiju, I'll put this island into play.
I'm gonna regret giving you that mana, I feel like. All right, we're gonna tap 1, 2, 3, 4, because hey, why make optimal plays? Now I'm gonna play Shrewfus again. That would have been a legendary creature which would have discounted the channel, but it's okay. My commander's back and that's all I care about. I'm just trying to rebuild the board here, all right? I will hit 1 more for Sapperling Migration, unkicked to make 2 green Sapperling creature tokens. I will get to scry, yes. I will pass the turn to you.
And I take 3 as well?
You take 3, and I will draw 3.
Okay. All right, I'll pay 1, and I'm gonna cast Swords to Plowshares. We're gonna exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power, but I think you can't?
That is correct.
Did you draw a counter to go with that blue land?
No, but what I do have is 2 for expansion, which lets me copy target instant or sorcery spell CMC 4 or less and choose new targets. So I will copy Swords to Plowshares and target Nighthawk Scavenger. Ooh.
Okay, so we both lose our creatures?
Yep. Niv will go to the command zone.
Well then I don't have the kill on you. I'm gonna play a Shadowy Backstreet, and I get to Surveil 1. Put that in the bin. Elenda is going to come in and attack. She gets +5/+5 from the staff, so it's for 9 damage.
Yeah, Pinnacle Monk is jumping straight in front of that. She doesn't menace, right?
She does not menace because I don't have more than my starting life total. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Celestine, the Living Saint, a 3/4 flying lifelinker that says at the beginning of my end step, I can return target creature card with mana value X or less from my graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of life gain. This was one of my answers that I've been unable to cast. I'm also going to plus Sorin, because I'm not gonna forget this time. It's actually gonna go up to 6 because it's +2, and I've been messing that up this entire time, but that's totally fine, which means I should have been able to steal your stuff and kill you anyway. My bad.
I got the worst employees. I got the worst employees. God dang it.
Good help's hard to find.
It is. It is.
We're gonna start here. I'm gonna pay 4 for Ohorexonal Deepest Might. It's a 4/4 trample. If a red source I control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than his power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to its power instead. Then we'll pay 6 for Fiery Emancipation. If a source I control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that to that permanent or player instead. Then I'll play this mountain as my land for turn. And then I'll go ahead and pass to Tulok's Upkeep.
Sure.
Where he would take 2 from Sulfuric Vortex, but actually 4, but actually 12. And then the same from Roiling Vortex.
So 24?
Well, I will give you this one. Airball is trying to do the most damage to you with these 2 replacement effects, but according to the rules, you're the one being affected by these, so you get to choose what order that the damage effect things are applied in. So you could just say triple the damage first, and then O'Hare Ashnil doesn't add any extra.
So I would take 6 from...
You would take 6 from the Sulfuric Vortex, and then you would take 3 buffs to 4 from the other Roiling Vortex.
Okay, let me think. Do I want to take 24 or 10? I will take 10 damage.
Final answer?
Final answer.
I'm rooting for you, Airball, but also my actually has to
Too
override.
strong. I understand, yeah.
I'll tap 1 for the Sporn Crown Thallid, which I believe is salad, actually, is how it's pronounced.
Yes.
The Spore Crown Salad. Each other creature I control that's a fungus or a sapperling gets +1/+1, so they're a little bit bigger. But what if they were quite a bit bigger? I will tap 1, 2, 3, 4 with 1 colorless floating for Overrun. To give creatures I control +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. So now each of these is getting +3 from the Overrun, +1 from the Spore Crown, which is 4, and +1 from the Sylvan Anthem, which is 5, making them 6 6s. I'm gonna go to combat, and boy, there sure isn't a propaganda anymore, is there? I'm gonna swing 2 Sapperlings over at Airball and 1 Shroofus over at NerdGirl.
I have no blocks.
I'll block 1 of the Sapperlings.
Because of trample in the 6/6, so it'll get through, and I'll deal 8 to you.
And I'll take the 6.
So I'll get 14 Sapperlings. I will scry 14 times.
5 minutes later.
Yep, that's the one. I will also take that Monarch from you.
Yes.
And then I'll go Hellbent so that you know I have nothing, and tap 1 for an Arbor Elf. Tap it to untap target forest. I'll pass the turn.
Well, I was 100% going to kill Airball for you because I worked for you, but now that we're 1v1, as it was meant to be.
As it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Wow, employees coming for their bosses? I'm shocked. I feel like I'm owed 1 turn.
So here's the thing. You are the one that killed the propaganda, therefore you are owed 1 turn. Is that that's the way that works?
Yes, of course.
The original deal I had with Tulok was that if I dealt with the propaganda, Tulok would give me 1 additional turn to find an answer for the shrooms. Now that Tulok has been the one to deal with the propaganda, I feel like I also need to return the favor and give him 1 turn to figure out how to kill me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the Celestial Mantle. My equipped creature gets +3/+3, and whenever enchant creature deals combat damage to a player, I get to double the controller's life total. I can't attack you, but I'm gonna sacrifice my Sorin by removing 6
Okay.
and stealing the Pumper.
The pumper? No more pump?
No more pump.
Oh no, now your saplings are gonna be big.
You got the salad.
I had to toss that salad over to you.
I'll pass the turn.
All right, I am going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Eldrazi Monument. Creatures I control get +1/+1 and have flying and indestructible. They fly now. At the beginning of my upkeep, sacrifice a creature. If I can, I have to sacrifice Eldrazi Monument. I will swing at you, Nerd Girl, with 17 flying fungi that are all 3/3s, which should be 51 damage.
And I can block 1 and gain 6, so I can mitigate 3 of them.
Yes, which means that I think I win and you die.
You found it!
I killed my employee! Yay!
And Forgotten Ancient trigger. Excuse me. And a Forgotten Ancient.
It's perfectly natural, Veggie. You're just going through changes.
Good news, sapperlings grow incredibly quickly. So we're able to get big, get a bunch of sapperlings out there, and still put this game in the W column. W stands for win.
Don't forget, you have less than a week to take advantage of Elgato's Black Friday sale. They have everything you need to upgrade your setup. Lights, cameras, even a stream deck.
Now, you might not like stacks, but you'll change your mind when you hear that your decked out code stacks with the 25% off that you could get from different things for a total of 30% off using the code ZZMNG when you go to checkout. Make sure to go down in the description to get the link and everything else. Go now.
Great. Glad I clarified because I don't want to look stupid. I don't know why I looked at the camera like the audience is going to see that because we deliberately are cutting that out.
I mean, we're definitely using that snidbit of I don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
Overall, the deck did pretty much exactly what I wanted it to do. It sweats out the early game, lets my opponents do their thing, but without hurting me too badly, lands Niv Mizzet, and goes on to try to win the game from there. My opponents, however, just got a ton of stuff into play, and unfortunately for me, the cracks in the foundation started to show.
Don't forget to support your favorite Commander show by doing something you were going to do anyway, and that's buy Magic singles. And you can do so by using our sponsor, TOA.
It really is that easy, and Tales of Adventure has a wide selection of singles from the most basic printings all the way through the most premium versions, and they've also started stocking sealed product now, so you don't need to go anywhere else for anything Magic.
And you get 5% off your entire order when you use code DECKEDOUT at checkout.
And you should know by now, the link is down in the description, right there.
So you have a function of the form f of x over g of x. So you have a ratio and you're trying to find the derivative of that. You can use L'Hopital's rule if that would give you an indeterminate form. And you take, you end up with f prime of x over g prime of x, and then you plug in x at that point and you find the instantaneous rate of change at that point.
Yeah, so like I said, zero cards.
The limit at that point, yeah.
Are you getting all hot and bothered?
Yeah, we're getting...
I can't complain about any game where I get to draw that many cards, but Simic does really struggle when it gets beaten at its own game. Tulok's lightning fast ramp and massive card draw was just too much for my deck. I couldn't compare Paradox. If you're building decks and you're not using Moxfield, then I feel bad for you. It just is the best tool for organizing, customizing, and collaborating on all of your decks.
In fact, it's the only way that our team can keep up with building sometimes over 20 decks per month. And it's the way that we can share our deck lists with you in a nice, easy format.
You can always support the show too, just by following us on Moxfield, where you can find every deck that's ever been on the show.
We're reading, we're doing math.
Reading and math, the foundations of Magic.
Yeah.
Not so much reading.
No, I never read the cards.
This may not have looked like a particularly great game for my commander, but honestly, Airball's anti-life gain cards really hosed me, and without those, I think I get to run away with the game. And I had a chance to stab Tulok in the back and steal it, but he's such a fun guy, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in TCG accessories.
And Ultimate Guard products are the way that all three of us on the Decked Out team are able to organize, protect, and display our collections. And they're the best way to show off all of our cards on camera for you.
So make sure you use the link down below in the description to support the show and pick yourself up some amazing upgrades. We know many of you will be celebrating Thanksgiving this week, so we wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for being here and being a part of the show. And to our patrons, without your support, we wouldn't have been able to film this episode.
It is specifically thanks to patrons like you, Cass, that we are able to keep this show weekly, and we are very thankful for that.
And if you're not already a part of the Patreon but would like to become a part of the show, please check it out with the link down below in the description. You can unlock exclusive perks, monthly signed tokens from our guests in the cast, you can get into Spelltable games with us, or even have us feature your deck here on the show.
And of course, Green Bean Casserole, you can always support the show by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That's all we've got for you for today. We'll see you next time on
Decked Out. Gobble gobble.